Hello everyone, this is PhD Gayatri of class 10. Today I am going to represent my biology seminar on the topic the main components of circulatory system. Firstly, I would like to thank Puspulata Miss for emboldening me to do this seminar. So I would like to start this seminar by speaking few things about biology. It is the study of complicated things that have the appearance of having been designed with a purpose. Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. So, biology is the science, evolution is the concept that makes biology unique. Blood group. Blood is classified into blood groups on the basis of the presence or absence of certain substances. These substances include antigens found on the surface of the RBCs and antibodies present in blood plasma. There are two types of antigens, A and B, present on the surface of the RBCs. Following are the two most common systems used for classifying blood: ABO blood group system and rhesus type system. Under ABO blood group system, a person with blood group A has antigen A and antibody B. He or she can donate blood to A and B blood groups and receive blood from A and O blood groups. A person with blood group B has antigen B and antibody A. He or she can donate blood to B and AB blood groups and receive blood from B and O blood groups. A person with AB blood group has antigens A and B and nil antibodies. He or she can donate blood to AB blood group only and receive blood from all the blood groups. A person with O blood group has nil antigens and A and B antibodies. He or she can donate blood to all the groups and receive blood from O only. So, from this ABO blood group system, we can say that people with O blood group are called universal donors and people with AB blood group are called universal acceptors. Under rhesus type system, the other blood group system, rhesus system, is named after rhesus monkey in which it was first discovered. If a person has Rh antigen on the RBCs, he is said to be rhesus positive, and if he does not have Rh antigen on the RBCs, he is said to be rhesus negative. On combining a person's ABO blood group with whether he or she is Rh positive or Rh negative, his or her blood group can be classified as O positive, O negative, A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, AB positive and AB negative. Unlike ABO system, the person is not born with antibodies against the D antigen in the blood. The person must be exposed to the antigen at some point in life to make antibodies against it. The person then remains sensitive for lifetime. If an Rh positive person receives the blood from an Rh negative person, nothing will happen. However, if an Rh negative person receives the blood from any Rh positive person, it may lead to complications. Let us understand this with the help of an example. An Rh negative mother carries an Rh positive baby, which can happen if the father is Rh positive in her womb. In such case, if the blood from the baby enters the mother's circulation, the mother could produce antibodies that fight the D antigen present on the RBCs of the baby. This may lead to miscarriage, termination, etc. at the time of delivery. To prevent this, an anti-D injection can be given to the mother to prevent the production of antibodies against the Rh positive blood of the baby. Let us discuss the third point, which is called as the pumping organ. The human heart is a pumping organ that keeps the blood continuously moving in the blood vessels. By the pumping action of the heart, the blood circulates to the whole body. Human heart is roughly triangular and about the size of a person's fist. It is placed in the center with its narrow end slightly displaced to the left side. Heart is enclosed by two membranes called pericardium, which have a fluid in between to protect the heart from any shock. Let us now discuss about the second point, that is blood vessels. Blood vessels are of three types: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood from heart to various parts of the body. They have thick elastic wall and narrow lumen. All arteries except the pulmonary artery carry oxygenated blood. Arteries branch into thinner tubes called arterioles, which further divide into thinner tubes called capillaries. The capillaries unite to form venules and finally form veins. However, some superficial arteries can be detected easily. They are radial arteries near the wrist and the carotid arteries in the neck. Pulse rate is counted by feeling these arteries. Veins. It is a type of blood vessel which carry blood away from the organs and towards the heart. These carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Walls of the vein are thin. They are less elastic than arteries. They collapse easily when empty, and they have a series of valves that prevent the backflow of the blood. These are thin-walled microscopic blood vessels having one-cell thick walls. Capillaries branch to form an extensive network throughout the tissue. Their branching increases the surface area, and the thin walls allows rapid exchange of materials between blood and tissue cells. They receive blood from the arterioles and deliver it to venules. Due to the presence of thin walls, capillaries can allow exchange of food material, gases and waste between blood and tissue. All the parts of the body that help in transportation of various materials in the body collectively constitute the circulatory system. It is also known as transportation system because it carries various substances from one part of a body to another. It has three main parts: circulatory medium, that is blood and lymph; blood vessels, that is arteries, veins and capillaries; a pumping organ, that is heart. Let us now discuss about the main components of circulatory system, that is point 1, circulatory medium, which contains blood and lymph. Blood. It is a red color mobile fluid connective tissue that flows within the blood vessels. An average human adult has about 5.5 liters of blood in his body. It is circulated by the muscular action of blood vessels or heart. The two main components of blood are plasma and blood corpuscle. Plasma is a straw-colored aqueous light alkaline fluid part of the blood. It forms about 55 to 60% of the blood volume. Plasma contains water 90 to 92%, inorganic salts 1 to 2%, and organic compounds 7 to 8%. The inorganic salts present in plasma are chlorides, carbonates, bicarbonates, sulfates, and phosphates of sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. The organic compounds present in plasma are plasma proteins and nutrients: urea, uric acid, enzymes, hormones, antibodies, and respiratory gases. Now, blood corpuscles. There are three types of blood corpuscles: red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles, and platelets. The red blood corpuscles are also called as the erythrocytes. They are circular and biconcave disc-like in shape. They do not contain nucleus. The cells contain hemoglobin and are red in color. They are 7 to 8 micrometer in diameter. The function is they transport oxygen from lungs to tissues. Hemoglobin carries oxygen and forms oxyhemoglobin. They also help in transporting carbon dioxide from tissues to lungs. Their number varies from 4.5 to 5 million per cubic millimeter. The lifespan is 120 days. White blood corpuscles. They are also called as the leukocytes. They are round or irregular in shape. They have a distinct nucleus. The cells are colorless. They do not contain hemoglobin. They are 8 to 20 micrometer in diameter. They destroy harmful germs and bacteria by engulfing them, that is by phagocytosis. They produce antibodies to give immunity to the body. Their number varies from 7,000 to 10,000 per cubic millimeter. The lifespan varies from a few hours to a few days, and they are formed in the white bone marrow. The main types of white blood corpuscles are granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes, they are spherical in shape and have a lobar nucleus, and the cytoplasm contains granules. The three main types of granulocytes are neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. The eosinophils are also called as acidophils. Neutrophils constitute about 60 to 70% of the total leukocytes. They engulf bacteria and other pathogens, thus protecting the body from infections. Eosinophils constitute 2 to 4% of total leukocytes. The number of eosinophils rises in case of certain allergies. Basophils form 0.5 to 2% of the total leukocytes. They are involved in the inflammatory response to injuries. Now coming to agranulocytes, their nucleus is typically spherical or kidney shaped. Their cytoplasm lack granules. The two types of agranulocytes are lymphocytes and monocytes. Monocytes form 2 to 8% of total leukocytes. They engulf bacteria and other cellular debris at the injured site. Lymphocytes are the second most abundant leukocytes after neutrophils. Lymphocytes form 20 to 30% of total leukocytes. Lymphocytes are involved in providing immunity against infections. Blood platelets are also known as thrombocytes. They are round or oval in shape and small in size, about 2 to 4 micrometer. They are fragments of cells of various shapes formed in bone marrow. They lack nucleus. Their lifespan is about 5 to 10 days. They play a major role in blood clotting. They release a chemical called thromboplastin, which initiates the process of blood clotting. Blood clotting occurs in following steps. When blood is released from the damaged blood vessels, the blood platelets release a substance called thromboplastin. The thromboplastin converts the protein prothrombin into thrombin in the presence of calcium. Now, fibrinogen present in blood plasma is converted into fibrin due to catalytic activity of thrombin. Fibrin forms a mesh or jelly-like mass at the injured site. RBCs get entangled in this mesh and ultimately form a blood clot. The blood clot plugs the damaged blood vessels. Due to this, blood stops flowing from the ruptured vessels. When clotting process completes, the clot dries up and the yellowish fluid comes out, and the fluid is serum. Serum is actually plasma which lacks fibrinogen. It normally takes about 3 to 4 minutes in clotting of blood. Now, I would like to speak about the main topic, that is the main components of circulatory system. Lastly, I would like to conclude this seminar with a thought. Communication is the loud circulatory system between two persons' heart. So it is essential in keeping the relationship vital and healthy. So with this, I come to an end of this seminar. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day ahead.